Hey young scholar, welcome to another interesting video on quadrilaterals. In the previous video, we discussed the different types of quadrilaterals there are and also what makes some of them so special. Their recognizable properties, right? Yes. And at the end of the video, I had told you that we would be discussing some of the quadrilaterals at length in this video. So, now that we are here, can you guess which quadrilaterals are we talking about? Not sure? Well, today we will explore the parallelograms. But we have already covered what parallelograms are and also their different types. So, what's left to be known about parallelograms? Well, today we will gain further insights into the properties of parallelograms. So, ready for another knowledge builder? Let's begin. We already know that a parallelogram is just a quadrilateral having both pairs of opposite sides parallel. Now, to study the properties this parallelogram exhibits, let's just name it A, B, C, D. We have studied that in every quadrilateral there are only two diagonals. So, joining the non-adjacent vertices over here, we get the diagonals AC and BD. Now, if we cut this parallelogram along one of its diagonals, say this one, we get two triangles, namely ABC and CDA. What can we say about these triangles? Don't they look congruent? Well, if we superimpose them like this, we would see that the different sides match perfectly. They are indeed congruent. So this gives us the first property of a parallelogram. The diagonal divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Now, because the triangles match perfectly, it's evident that sides AD and CB are equal and so are sides DC and BA. And if you think about it, these are nothing but the pairs of opposite sides of this parallelogram. Thus, it's easy to conclude that in this parallelogram, each pair of opposite sides is equal. Now, you can try cutting different parallelograms along their two diagonals one at a time. In each case, you will arrive at the same conclusions. The triangles are congruent and the opposite sides are equal. This is because these aren't just individual conclusions. They are actually properties exhibited by each and every parallelogram. So, rephrasing the properties as theorems now, the first one goes, a diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. And the second one goes, in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. Now, there are other interesting properties of a parallelogram, but in this video, we will shed light only on these two. Wasn't it amazing to visualize how these properties actually work? I'm sure it was. But in mathematics, visualizations find purpose only if they are proved mathematically. So let's take these theorems and try to prove them using the geometrical knowledge we have accumulated in all these years. We will begin with the first one. So for this, let's take a parallelogram, say ABCD, and join two of its non-adjacent vertices, say A and C. Now, we need to prove that triangles ABC and CDA are congruent. So let's get on with it right away. Since ABCD is a parallelogram, we know that BC is parallel to AD and AB is parallel to DC. Now, if you notice, you will be able to see that this diagonal AC is a transversal between these two parallel lines and is also a transversal between these two parallel lines. So, let's name the angles formed by these parallel lines and transversal 1, 2, 3 and 4. So, in triangles ABC and CDA, angle 1 is equal to angle 3 because if you notice, they form a pair of alternate angles which as you already know are equal. Similarly, angle 2 is equal to angle 4 because they also form a pair of alternate angles. And AC is equal to CA because it's common in both the triangles. Thus, we can see that these angles are equal, these sides are equal, and these angles are equal. Angle, side, angle. So, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA by the angle, side, angle rule. Thus, it's easy to conclude that the diagonal AC divides the parallelogram ABCD into two congruent triangles ABC and CDA. See, we just proved the theorem. Talking about congruent triangles, what have we studied about them? That their corresponding paths are equal, right? So, in congruent triangles ABC and CDA, we can see that BC is equal to DA because they are corresponding sides of congruent triangles. And following the same logic, BA is also equal to DC. But in the parallelogram ABCD, we can see that BC and DA are opposite sides and so are BA and DC. See, we just proved the second theorem. That is, in a parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal. Just out of curiosity, what do you think would be the converse of this theorem? Not sure. Well, we already know that whatever is given in a theorem, the same is to be proved in its converse. And whatever is proved in a theorem, it is given in the converse. So, if we just rephrase this theorem as if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, each pair of its opposite sides is equal, then the given part is that the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. And the proved part is each pair of its opposite sides is equal. So, switching the given and the proved, we get the converse of this theorem, which can be written as if each pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is equal, then it is a parallelogram. Since we have already proved the parent theorem, we may feel that the converse would of course be true. But remember that such is not always the case. Sometimes the converse of a theorem may not hold true. Hence, it is imperative that we prove the converse to be 100% sure. So let's do that for this one too. So here's a quadrilateral where the opposite sides are equal. Let's name it ABCD and then join A and C to get diagonal AC. Now, in triangles ABC and CDA, we can say that AB is equal to CD and BC is equal to DA because in the parent quadrilateral, they form pairs of opposite sides and it's already given that the opposite sides are equal. Now, in triangles ABC and CDA, we can also see that AC is equal to CA because it's common in both the triangles. Thus, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA by the side criteria. Now, if we name these angles over here 1, 2, 3 and 4, we can say that angle 1 is equal to angle 3 and angle 2 is equal to angle 4 because they are actually corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Now, in the quadrilateral, if we assume that BC is parallel to DA, then the diagonal AC would act as a transversal and angle 1 and angle 3 would form a pair of alternate angles, which means they would be equal. We just proved that they really are. So our assumption is correct. That is, BC is parallel to DA. Similarly, if we assume that BA is parallel to DC, then AC would act as a transversal, which means angles 2 and 4 would form a pair of alternate angles and they must be equal. We have already proven that they are. So our assumption is correct here again. That is, BA is parallel to DC. So basically, we have a quadrilateral in which the two pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Fits the definition of a parallelogram perfectly. Thus, we can say that ABCD is actually a parallelogram. See, we just proved the converse of the theorem. That was pretty interesting, wasn't it? We proved the first theorem, the second theorem, and as a bonus, we also proved the converse of the second theorem. We have gained further insight into parallelograms today. We can visualize them better now. We now know that parallelograms are quadrilaterals in which each pair of opposite sides are parallel as well as equal. And a diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. This isn't the end of it though. There are more interesting properties of parallelograms which we'll be exploring in the coming videos. Whatever we discussed today will be of great help there. So let's quickly summarize and I'll see you in the next one. So in this video, we discussed some really interesting properties of parallelograms. We saw that a diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. In a parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal. If each pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is equal, then it is a parallelogram.